Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys, so I was just going through all of the kids' homeschool stuff, so I figured why not show you what I had as a setup before I change everything up. So I just have like one full shelf that I keep all of their homeschool things on, and a little organized in baskets and things like that, which I'll show you. But we're switching stuff up again. So if you homeschool, if you're new to homeschooling, if you've thought about homeschooling or just don't know anything about homeschooling, here's a little information of what we've gone through with our homeschooling journey. So we have now officially completed 3 years of homeschooling. So I had to write it all down to remember everything that happened because time flies when you have young kids. So as of right now, Eva has never been enrolled in school. She's 4, and so this year we have started doing pre-K work with her. Carmelo, who is currently hiding in the closet again, he went for the 16-17 school year. He did go to public school because he was 3 years old and he got special education services, so he was in a PEI class. 17-18 school year is when I started homeschooling, so I pulled him from school. He was set to go into
It's a smoothie.
yeah, he was set to go into a blended pre-K class, which meant that half of the children basically had IEPs. We did pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade at home the last 3 years. And now we are working on second grade work with him. It's complicated though. For my kids, it's a little more complicated than that. Age-wise, Carmelo would be like taking the summer off if he was in regular school, and then he'd go into second grade beginning in August. Like all kids do, they have strengths and weaknesses. They may just be a little more profound with kids with, autism or any other disabilities. So for Carmelo, like I'm still working on some kindergarten things, like basic writing skills. He doesn't like to write. He loves to draw, but to get him to sit and do book work and write things out is very hard for me to do with him. But his reading skills are like surpassing kiddos. So it's like 3rd, 4th grade reading skills on sight words and things like that. So there's a balance between those. So I'm like, yes, he's kind of like doing second grade work, but then we kind of had to go and do some basic skills, and then we also have to do more advanced things with him. And then for Hiddo again started school when he was very young, 3 years old. He went into the PEI class. The same one that Hiddo went into actually was the same one that Carmelo went into a couple of years later. So he started school in 2013, but his birthday falls in December. So with special education, you don't start school until like your birthday. So his birthday was in December, so then he went into the 3-year-old class. Well, his birthday is so late in the year that he then did that same class the next year. So he did PEI class 2 years in a row until he was 4. 15-16 school year, he was 4 and 5, and that he switched schools and he went to a reduced numbers class. It's just a classroom where they have very few students and at least like one teacher and a couple of aides. He did great in that class. And then the next year, so what is that? Again, had to write all this down. The 16-17 school year, he went into a regular kindergarten class with an aide. And then after that school year, the 17-18 school year is when I pulled him out and we started homeschooling. Hiddo is a little more behind academically than the other two seem to be. So we repeated kindergarten for him the first year that he was home. The second year we went into first grade. 3rd year we went into second grade. We finished second grade work and then we began 3rd grade work. And that's where we're at now. We're trying to finish up 3rd grade work, and then academically speaking, if he was in school, he'd be going into 4th grade in August. And so our goal is to start 4th grade work by the end of this calendar year. Just like Carmelo, he is really behind in writing, but he's great in a lot of other things. So that's an overview of like how their school years have looked, basically, like what grade level they were in. So for the first and second year of homeschool, we didn't have a set curriculum. I really wanted to just work on their weaknesses and build upon their strengths and their interests. So it was kind of like just whatever they liked and whatever I felt that they needed to work on, that's what we did. So with that, I did a lot of things like Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is still my best friend. You can find so many different workbooks and activities for them to do there. So they did a lot of that. And I'll go more into depth showing you a lot of these things that we've used and ways that I organized it after I tell you what we used. I found a thing called Build Your Bundle online. They do an annual or biannual big sell of a lot of homeschoolers and educators who put out their products to sell, and then they put it at a really big discount in bundles. And so it's all printable worksheets. They even have things just for parents, like recipe books and productivity packets, calendars, all kinds of stuff, and also like whole workbooks for kids on different kinds of subjects, unit studies, all kinds of things. So that was amazing. I still have like 100 files on my computer that I haven't even printed out because I got so much from all of that, and it's things that I can also use in the future. Like I even got some bundles that had things all the way up to high school age. So in the future, I have unit studies and workbooks that I can print for them depending on age and what things that they're interested in at the time. And then also, I am big into learning apps. I've made a whole video about that before. I'll put the link in the description below. But one that I really liked is, so one of my favorite ones for even going back to the boys was Endless Words, and that eventually developed into a huge app that's actually called now Endless Learning Academy, and Eva is doing that right now and she loves it. But we also, just the Endless Words is what the boys did for quite a while. Starfall, they love Starfall. Eva still wants me to buy Starfall, but I don't purchase it every year. But the boys were doing Starfall in that PEI class, and we were doing it at home, and they did everything in that app. ABC Mouse was another one that we did, especially in those first 2 years. The boys liked it. Eva loves it. And then just a lot of reading and hands-on activities at home. And then extracurriculars, like we've done things like piano. We've been dabbling in studying Japanese and ASL. And then in year 3, so year 3 is the school year that has just ended. If you're counting like August through May, I guess, would be school years. We school year round. So just to keep an idea about where like they would be academically in school, I go based on that, but we still like school through the summer, and we take breaks when schools don't take breaks. Back in August, we started Easy Peasy, and I made a whole video about that, our first day of starting Easy Peasy Homeschool. That is 180 days planned out for you. You just go to it, you select what courses you want to do during the school year, and you complete them daily, and then that's it. Well, we did it without any breaks, basically. We took like 2 one-week breaks for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Other than that, we didn't really take any breaks from it. So we completed the 180 days back in February. And then, so for that, Carmelo did the first grade work, and Hida did the second grade work. And then in March, we started back up with Easy Peasy again. And Eva is doing pre-K work. I am doing the pre-K work with her through Easy Peasy, but then I'm also doing additional workbooks and all the apps that she loves, especially the ABC Mouse. But right now, I don't know if the boys are really, they kind of got burned out because we did do like 270 days of Easy Peasy. It was like the whole 180 days, and then we did almost 90 days in the next level, and so we're trying something different right now. I don't know if we're going to continue with Easy Peasy. I really like the program, especially because they have everything laid out for you daily, but I think that they need something different right now, and I really just need to focus on those areas that they need extra help in right now, because we've gotten to the point where it's a lot of writing in for Carmelo with the Easy Peasy program, and I cannot get him to write. So it's all hand over hand still, and Hiddo also. So I think we really just need to focus on the writing. I'm gonna read to them a lot. I'm still doing the readings with them through Easy Peasy, and I think we really need to focus also on math, because like science, they love sciences. They love history, but the math and the writing is where they have a hard time. So we really need to focus on that, and then I'm just going to read to them a lot about everything under the sun, because I'll show you some of our book collection. We have a lot of children's books. And the other thing that we're doing for Hiddo now, because he aged out of doing the ABC Mouse stuff, it was way too easy for him. So now the creators of ABC Mouse are started up a program called Adventure Academy. And so he just started that last week, and he is loving it. I was like, okay, you know, I showed him how to do it, and I said, you have to do this 1 hour every day. And I'll give him my phone, because I put it on my old phone, so that he knows that when I hand him that, that's what he has to do. He has to focus on that. He, though, will like go over the hour. He won't even think about it, and he's just like, every time he learns something new, he likes to talk about it. He's so excited learning. He's a very visual learner. He could memorize an entire movie when he was like 2-3 years old. So he's really good at memorizing things if he watches it in a video. So all of this book work, it's not really how he learns best. So I'm letting him do that, and he loves it. And he can gain points and earn things and go on quests and all kinds of things like that. So it's like a game. So he is learning, but it keeps him engaged a lot longer than any book work can. Like after 15 minutes of book work, he's done. All the kids are. I haven't tried the Adventure Academy on Carmelo yet. I think he really would still be more into the ABC Mouse. But Carmelo just loves to be read to, so that's the best thing for him right now, is I'm just reading to him. So let's go over some of, it's gonna be a long video. I'm gonna show you really quick how I organized before and how I think I'm going to redo all this and organize for the future, and what I have and where I got some of it. This is how I first organized the schoolwork. This was only when I was really doing paperwork with Hiddo, so only one child, so it was a lot easier. So this is a file crate. I have the first folder in here is with all of our homeschool documents, like our yearly applications for homeschool, and then I have 25 hanging folders. And so as you see, I put 1 through 25, and I like to organize it so it was like this, so it just goes like this, so you can see all the numbers all the way back. So this was for a week, because like I said, we homeschool year round, and so we do 50 weeks out of the year we would do some kind of schoolwork, because we only take off Thanksgiving week and Christmas week. So whenever I was done with 1 week, I'd put it at the back and I'd flip it around so it has the following week. So now I have all 50 weeks. So I would put all their schoolwork in here. This still has stuff from like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So this is what we would do on week 1 of the school year. And then in this folder is what we were going to do on the 26th week. So I could have everything set, and I did all of this and put everything together of every week what we were going to do for 50 weeks of schooling just for a Hiddo. And so I had it all set, and we'd go through it. So every week I could just pull out the folder. I'd leave that on the countertop until we finished it, and then I'd flip it around and put it back in here. But then when I started like really getting into schoolwork for all 3 children, I got these baskets from the Dollar Tree. And so this has just miscellaneous things in it. And then each one of these, Eva, Carmelo, kiddo, they each have a basket of things that they would work on that year. So Eva's are right now, like I said, she's going to work on pre-K work, so anything 4+ is in there. There's a lot more stuff for pre-K work that I have. And these, the R words, because like I've said before, she has some issues saying her R's or R blends. So we're gonna work on that with her. Carmela loves science, but these are things that we could do science-wise, like with all 3 children at the same time. So I like that book. We're gonna start doing that. He's gonna start on counting coins. These workbooks he really likes. These are some of the things that we got from the Dollar Tree. So it's really easy things, short lessons, keeps him engaged because you take stickers and you have to put the stickers in here. So he likes those. And then, like I said, we're gonna work on a lot of writing with him. So we'll do that right now. Additional things, I'm not really sure what additional stuff we're gonna do with him at the moment, but for now, that's our goal of what we're gonna work on this year until he passes all of that. Hiddo, like I said, needs to work on math. So he's gonna work on the 3rd grade math still because we're still working on 3rd grade with him. We're gonna work on calculator skills. So I don't know if anyone's ever seen a book like this, but I forgot where I found these books. Probably a thrift store. So these go through lessons on how to use a calculator. And it's something I didn't even think about. Like, he's never really used a calculator. And then more math workbooks for him. And then, so all of this are things that you can find at the Dollar Tree. So Carmelo loves sciences. And so this just something interactive. You can learn about the life cycle of butterflies. It has additional information on there. And these are also just busy things. Like if he's bored, I can hand him one of these and he'll look at it and try to read through it. So one about the continents, one about clouds. These also are from the dollar store. So we're gonna be working on telling time for all 3 children. So I got a bunch of these, so just in case they rip them up. These are like little guides to reading, so like line by line, because they do get very distracted. So I'm hoping that these help. So I'm gonna implement these this year. These are little stickers to put on to your desktop, but we don't really have any desks. I don't know where to stick these right now. I think I'm going to put these on the front of a folder. Posters, so all that kind of stuff. Go to Dollar Tree. They have a ton of things for you to use in homeschooling or any kind of schooling. These additional ones are for higher grades and the things that the kids are really interested in. So we'll start using these like next year. So I'm just gonna have to put these to the side, and that's what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take all of these folders out since I'm not doing these weekly assignment folders anymore. I'm going to put all of these in here and organize them based on grade level and subject so that I can look and see what I have and where I need to fill in the future. So I have more of those calculator books and atlas. Hiddo loves geography, and so I think this year, yeah, I'm gonna put this one in his basket too, because this year we're really going to focus on American geography. Like, he loves learning about different cultures and stuff, but I think right now we're gonna learn about the states in depth. These are all books that I have that I'll use with Eva in the future because they're below Carmelo's grade level, but a little too advanced for Eva right now. I have tons of these. So like I said, most of these are from dollar stores and thrift stores. You wouldn't believe how many of these books I've gotten just from like Once Upon a Child. People will drop them off unused. So this is one that we've already completed with the sticker science book, but I think I'm gonna throw that one away since it's finished. Speaking of things that people bring to thrift stores, these, I found a whole stack. As you can see, they were $1 a piece. And these I used for toddler work But now that the kids are so old, I think I'm going to just throw these away since we've used them up. But they do have really cute like rhymes and interactive things that you can do with the kids. So that was really fun. Like we'd read through this constantly, even up until last year. The kids wanted me to sing all these rhymes and we'd act them out. So I don't know, maybe I'll just take pictures of all the rhymes in case they want to sing them in the future. And it's like, this is my home to Three Blind Mice. Things like that. And then it had shapes ones, but you see some of these had stickers, so once you're done with them, you just kind of toss them. Or sticker ones, so once you put that on there, you couldn't do anything else. But they have open shut. So these were really good for the toddler years, but since we're done with them, like I said, it's time to get rid of these. And I have a lot of additional things like writing pads, handwriting without tears. I have those loose papers, other workbooks to do with science, flashcards. I can cut out these flashcards, but they aren't too into flashcards because they just get overwhelmed with flashcards and then they just end up scattering them. I have this one I'm gonna have to actually read to them soon. I got this free social story for hurricanes since hurricane season has started. I'll go through this again with them. Whole bunch of other workbooks in here about science, and these are things that I got. So this is an example of kind of workbooks that you can get from that Build Your Bundle site. You can also find free things online all the time. There's free and cheap unit studies like these on Teachers Paying Teachers. So it's just a lot of good fill-in information on those, and you can expand upon them. So this is something else that I put together for the kids all to use. So I have these protective sheets. It's just things that like reference. So these are all things that I've taught them in Japanese, and I have additional worksheets in there, and we'll just go over that every now and then. The ASL alphabet, counting by tens, even and odd numbers, so good visuals on all of these. Numbers 1 to 10, and then 11 to 20. Another odd and even chart. Number lines. And then number lines to 100. And so these are just, I'll pull this out with their schoolwork so that if they needed to look at any reference sheets, they could just pull this out and we can look at it right there instead of having to go back and find it in a crate or in a box or anything like that. So I always have this out whenever we're doing schoolwork. And that Build Your Bundle may have some planners, productivity sheets. This is a big thing that we work on is emotional regulation. So I found some I'm feeling fearful, afraid cards, and then it'll tell you about the emotion, tips for parents, what you can do. And so I printed those out on cardstock, and so I can cut those out into, and we could just have those as flashcards and talk about those. It even has a chart that the child can show you how they're feeling. I know what to do when I'm feeling, and that has all of these. The kids love this flip book. So I got this on Amazon. I love the self-regulation, emotional regulation guides and tools. So it shows you like what to do when I'm feeling happy, and then on the other side, so it like stands up on an A-frame, and so you just flip it around and it shows you what you can do when you're feeling that emotion. So I always have that on a shelf accessible to the kids. And then these books I'd recommend to anyone who has children who have any issues with temper, worrying, Accepting imperfection. So these are workbooks I already went through with Hiddo. I'll probably go through them with him again. It has a lot of good information. You read through it. They have activities for you to complete, questions to answer, a lot of talking points for parents and kids. So those 3 are awesome. I'm gonna have to go over that one with Hiddo again soon. And the Danny Do books, I really like too. This one I keep in Hiddo's basket because he likes to look through it. So you read it. So then it'll have a point where you have to decide what is the right thing to do. And then you go to that next page. And so they learn about the consequences of actions. So I love that one. There's also one about school, but of course, my kids aren't at school, so I didn't get the school one. Last thing I want to show you, since this ran on way too long, how I was organizing their Easy Peasy work. So Easy Peasy, you can either buy the workbooks or you can print them yourselves. So I have a folder for each of the children. And then in this accordion file, I would print out the entire workbook and put it in one tab. So this was all of Eva's stuff. This was Carmelo's math, Carmelo's writing, Hiddo's math, Hiddo's writing. We were doing ancient history and biology. And so it fit in perfectly for my 3 kids. And then each week I would go through this, pull out all the papers that they were going to do for that week and just put it in their folder. So then we know exactly what we're going to do that week and it has the days that you were going to do it, and then I have some extra loose leaf paper in here for extra work.
Hi, Eva.
So that was just an overview. I know it was long, but I was basically just trying to show you what we've done for homeschooling for the past 3 years and going into our 4th year now. It changes over time. I'm sure for most people it does. For us, it definitely did. We've changed it up so many times. How to organize, it's... It just depends on how many kids you're schooling and everything else. And like as additional children are born and you start schooling them, you have to figure out other methods that work for organization. So yeah, this was our evolution of how we homeschool and what we're doing now. So I hope someone found some of this information insightful. But like I said, biggest takeaways of homeschooling is work on your own children's strengths and weaknesses. That's what the best thing about homeschooling is that you can really tailor the curriculum to what your children need. And told you they love that thing. And just read a lot. If anything, I'm gonna have to show you all of the books another time because this video has gone on way too long. But just
Smiley.
Read. Don't focus too much on the whole grade level thing. The only reason why I do is because, and I have to keep track of where they are, is because I have so many professionals who are always asking me like what grade level they're in and everything. I'm like, if I didn't write it down and keep track of it, I really would lose track of what grade levels we're really working on right now with them, or what grade they should be in according to the school calendar. And also, Dollar Tree is your best friend. Go to Dollar Tree. They have so many things there. I can't wait to get back to Dollar Tree and see if they have any new things for us to use. Because I'm telling you, all this stuff from Dollar Tree have been like their favorite things and like activities to do and workbooks. Until next time, guys. Bye.